So, Bud, you've won at 135, 140, 147, and 154. You never fought at 168. You think you have enough power to hurt the great Canelo?
Of course. I don't have to have enough power to hurt him. I just got to beat him.
So, Canelo, Terence is naturally the smaller fighter, quicker, more agile, but he does have a 4-inch reach advantage over you. How do you plan on dealing with this?
Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him calling me out and want to fight and everything, I say before he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't a great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Postal in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
Ricky Burns doesn't elite.
Okay.
He's not elite.
It's cool. Well,
is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite.
There is
fighter
a champions, good fighters, but elite fighters is different. Wait.
So I'm going to fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're
going to find out.
Then we're going to find out.
And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter. But are you going to find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because he's going to be the last. That's for sure.
It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never the same after me.
Well, how long have you guys, obviously thinking about this fight and then fighting another great fighter like Canelo and like Bud?
No, I never thinking about the fight Crawford. I never in my life, because he's a low weight than me. So, but I never thinking about it. But that's the fun part of boxing. You never know what is gonna happen, right? And now we are here. And I'm glad to share the ring with one of the best fighters out there, and I'm just can't wait.
So even though you see a small fighter, when you look in his eyes, do you see a fighter that could possibly beat you?
No, never.
So,
Never.
So he will never beat you.
Obviously he's a special fighter. He's a good fighter, but that's why they are good weight classes, right? And we're gonna find out September.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford came face-to-face once again during their second press event, and this time, things took a heated turn. The rising tension between the two finally boiled over when both fighters aggressively pushed each other during the stare-down. The shove was powerful and unexpected, prompting Dana White to step in quickly and prevent the situation from escalating into a real fight ahead of their scheduled bout. The face-off wasn't the only unforgettable moment. The entire press conference was packed with drama. Terence Crawford showed a fiery side this time around, making it clear that he isn't treating this as just another fight. At the podium, he boldly stated that for him, this is more than boxing, it's a hunt. And Canelo is the target.
I'ma just keep it real. I'm hunting him. That's it. I'm hunting everything that he got. And I'm gonna take it come September 13th.
Where would you rank yourself among the list of greatest of all time?
When I win, I'm gonna be at the top. Facts. When I win.
In the middle of the intense press conference, Terence Crawford didn't just trade words with Canelo, he turned his attention to the crowd. With boos echoing from the stands, Crawford stood his ground unfazed. Instead of backing down, he embraced the heat and fired back with a bold prediction. Those same doubters would be forced to rethink everything once the fight was over.
Well, I want all the people in the stands that booed me, they gonna cry when they go home. They cry.
Go ahead.
Wow.
I just found out what the sign language means for cry. Dana, I'm from the UFC world. You're bringing me over to the boxing world. I appreciate everything you've done for combat sports. What does it mean? How does it feel to you to be one of the masterminds in what could be the most viewed fight in combat sports history?
I've always had this theory that if
Crawford shared that all the setbacks he faced, including years without landing high-profile opponents, were, in his eyes, part of a bigger plan. He believed the timing of this clash with Canelo was no coincidence. "I'm extremely confident that everything is unfolding according to God's plan," he said. "There's a reason those major fights didn't happen earlier. It was all preparation for this moment." While Crawford had plenty to say at the mic, Canelo remained mostly silent, only breaking that stillness during their heated face. His calm demeanor throughout the press conference gave off a dangerous energy like a storm quietly building. It was clear he wasn't interested in talking anymore. He looked like a man ready to fight, right there and then. The moment the fighters exchanged shoves, the scene erupted. Members from both camps stormed the stage, and in an instant, the situation spiraled into chaos. What began as a tense face-off turned into an all-out melee. Crawford's trainer, Mac, got caught up in a heated clash with Canelo's team. Whether he was defending his fighter or just fueling the fire, no one could tell. One thing was obvious: the animosity wasn't limited to Canelo and Crawford. The tension had consumed everyone involved.
Y'all don't see the clear difference. I'm not saying that Terence Bud Crawford is afraid of Canelo or that Mike Tyson was afraid of Holyfield, but there was some reaction. Maybe with Bud Crawford, this is really the biggest moment of his career, and he kind of felt it at that moment, but I think it was a genuine reaction. He just did not look like the Terence Bud Crawford icon.
Dana White stepped in right when things were about to spiral out of control, playing a crucial role in diffusing the situation. His presence once again highlighted how vital he is in keeping these high-stakes events from boiling over. But Dana didn't just restore order, he raised the stakes even higher by dropping a bombshell announcement. A major bonus that instantly reignited the buzz around the fight.
Bonus that night is going to be over 6 figures. We're still talking about it. So, it's going to be a big number. Whoever wins the performance bonus of the night that night.
When this matchup was first revealed, many dismissed it as a mismatch. Critics claimed Crawford was undersized and had no place stepping up to 168 pounds. After all, Canelo is the undisputed super middleweight champion, the man with every belt in the division. But Crawford didn't back down from the narrative. Speaking with confidence and pride, he reminded the world of his own legacy. While Canelo has often commanded the spotlight, Crawford made one thing crystal clear. He views himself as an equal, ready to prove he belongs at the very top.
So, we got two legends fighting each other, and I'm definitely, daring to be great. And I'm going to be great September 13th. I'm not taking no credit away from Canelo's skills. A lot of people, they only talk about his power, but he's very skillful in there, and, he's respected.
Crawford, who began his career at lightweight, is now making a massive leap, jumping to weight divisions to face Canelo. At first, many dismissed it as just hype or even a money move. But after the explosive face-offs and intense press tour, the narrative has completely shifted. This bout has become one of the most anticipated in boxing, by attempting to make history as the first male fighter to become undisputed champion in 3 separate weight classes. Crawford has shown that he's after something far greater than just belts. He's chasing legacy.
Put me up there, Mount Rushmore. I'm looking forward to it, becoming the first 3-time male undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes.
Eddie Hearn revealed that Crawford's unshakable self-belief had genuinely impressed him. to the point where he found himself leaning toward picking Crawford as the winner. Hearn admitted that Crawford's confidence felt so authentic and intense, it was difficult not to buy into it. However, after witnessing the fiery face-off and the charged atmosphere of the press conference, Hearn had a change of heart once more. Now, he's siding with Canelo again, suggesting this fight is as unpredictable as it is compelling.
But kind of like, he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convinced. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? And obviously he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo, so we'll see.
The tension between Crawford and Eddie Hearn didn't stay confined to press events. It quickly spilled over onto social media. The two exchanged sharp words, with Crawford accusing Hearn of disrespect and using his name for promotional gain. Hearn didn't stay quiet either, firing back with comments that questioned Crawford's focus. Despite the clash, Hearn acknowledged that he respects Crawford's skills and considers him one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. Still, he felt that Crawford overlooked the contributions he made in helping to promote some of his biggest moments.
But I like Edgar. I think he's a really exciting fighter. I don't have any beef with him, and I wish him the best, but he should have the respect to say, me, Eddie Hearn, really done a great job for me.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35, 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
Crawford's victory earlier this year against Israel Madrimov caught the boxing world's attention. He controlled the fight from start to finish, adding yet another title to his collection now spanning 4 weight divisions. Undefeated, full of confidence, and only getting sharper. Crawford made it clear that true legends are defined by doing what others would say is impossible. For him, defeating Canelo Alvarez isn't just a dream, it's a mission he fully believes he can accomplish.
Madrimov gave you a tougher fight than Madrimov. Stop that. And now you're... Who? Someone gave you a tougher fight than Madrimov?
That was a tough fight, man.
Well, you've been beating the hell out of most guys you've ever fought. He gave you a good fight. Why do it this way?
Why not? I always say, like, all the greats do things that people think that's impossible. So within myself, I have the confidence, the skill. I got all the tools to beat Canelo. So why not?
Canelo, meanwhile, hasn't suffered a loss since his 2022 bout with Dimitri Bivol, however. His most recent fight against William Skull left fans underwhelmed. It was one of the least action-packed 12-rounders in recent memory, with an unusually low punch count sparking talk that Canelo might be losing a step. But instead of proclaiming himself the greatest Mexican fighter ever or comparing himself to past icons, Canelo stayed humble. He simply said that when his career is over, his accomplishments will speak for themselves. Still, when the topic turned to his clash with Crawford, he didn't hesitate. He made it clear he fully expects to come out victorious.
I don't know. Let's see when I retire where I'm gonna be in the list. But for sure, I will be Terence Crawford, no matter what. I don't looking like I'm gonna be the greatest Mexican ever. I don't say that. I think my numbers is gonna talk when I retire. It's gonna be one of the greatest fighters ever, for sure. And that night is very special. All around this fight is special, and I think they don't wanna miss this fight.
During a conversation with Turki Aloshik, the event's chairman Canelo Alvarez took a subtle yet sharp jab at Terence Crawford. This wasn't light banter. Canelo was clearly calling out Crawford's slick, evasive style. He hinted that Crawford would be more interested in avoiding direct exchanges than engaging in a true fight, implying his opponent might run instead of stand toe-to-toe.
In this fight, and there seems to be something out there like the way for you to win this fight is to move. Is that true?
Turkey, you need to put a small ring. The smaller ring in the...
Canelo Alvarez acknowledged that he isn't entirely sure what strategy Terence Crawford will bring to the ring, but he's preparing for every possibility. He expressed hope that Crawford would engage in a true battle, not just play it safe. I don't know what kind of fight he plans to bring, Canelo said, but I'm training for anything. I just hope he comes with a style that makes it a great fight for the fans. That's what I want. If not, I'll still do whatever it takes to win. Meanwhile, Bill Haney, father and trainer of Devin Haney, threw his full support behind Crawford in the build-up to the bout. He described how the energy shifted the moment he arrived at the press event, saying it was clear things had become intense. Haney firmly pushed back on the narrative that Crawford is too small or afraid to face Canelo, insisting that Crawford is more than ready for the challenge.
You want to see this in the first place? We tired of playing. Did you see it kicked off when I showed up? Because Crawford ain't nothing to play with. He ain't scared of nobody, and you ain't too big for Crawford. So kill that narrative. It's over with. Blood has been drawn, and you're going to see. Crawford is the best fighter in the world.
Bill Haney didn't just voice his support for Terence Crawford, he put his money where his mouth is. To show just how confident he is in Crawford's ability to beat Canelo Alvarez, Haney placed a $100,000 bet on him to win. It was a bold move that spoke louder than words, making it clear that his belief in Crawford runs deep.
I bet 100,000. That's what you betting? That's what you betting on it, Bill? No. Yeah, so go get y'all the 99. And then go.
Yo, $1,000, baby, what's up?
Fight him, Bill. Watch. Listen. Canelo will be beat up like a bloody pulp when it's through. Talk that shit, Bill!
Showbiz, the adult recently shared why he's starting to believe Terence Crawford has what it takes to defeat Canelo Alvarez. He highlighted a key weakness in Canelo's game, his tendency to lose momentum when he's pushed backward and forced to fight on the defensive. Rather than controlling the pace, Canelo struggles when he can't move forward and apply pressure. Showbiz argued that Crawford's high-ring IQ and slick movement could force Canelo into that exact uncomfortable position, giving Crawford a real edge.
I'm telling you, I'm going to be at that damn fight, and Crawford is going to go to his corner, and he's going to look at me, and I'm going to be like, I know how Bud Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez isn't effective, and he gets tired when he boxes going backwards. So I was saying, how is he going to do that as a small man? I know how.
To support his argument, Showbiz pointed to a well-known moment in Canelo's career, his bout against Floyd Mayweather. He reminded viewers how Mayweather used masterful footwork, slick defense, and precise counters to keep Canelo on the back foot. Forced to fight in reverse, Canelo looked less effective and gradually wore down as the fight progressed. Drawing a comparison, Showbiz suggested that Crawford, with his high-ring IQ and movement, could execute a similar strategy and find success the same way Floyd did.
Did Floyd stop Canelo in his tracks? One punch. Terence Bud Crawford can be strong enough and he's smart enough with good enough footwork to jab him right at the belt line. What Floyd did was he paired it with a straight up top. The jab.
What began as a fight many questioned has now become one of the most highly anticipated showdowns in modern boxing. From explosive face-offs to headline-making predictions, every step toward Canelo versus Crawford has only turned up the heat. Whether it's Crawford's unwavering self-belief, Canelo's icy composure, or the wave of analysts switching sides, this is no ordinary title fight. This is a battle for legacy. Come September 13th, we won't just see a winner, we might witness a moment that redefines boxing greatness. If you're as fired up for this clash as we are, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for all the latest fight updates, and drop a comment below. Who do you think makes history, Crawford or Canelo? Let the debate begin.